Good day and welcome to 5-Minute Bible Stories, where we dissect, digest, and understand the Word of God. Today, we're looking at someone God called to lead His people. Imagine this. Moses is tending sheep in the wilderness near Mount Horeb. He's 80 years old now. For 40 years, he's been a shepherd for his father-in-law, Jethro. This is a long way from the palace of Egypt where he grew up. Moses was raised as Pharaoh's grandson. He had wealth, education, power, and position. He was somebody. Then, he killed an Egyptian who was beating a Hebrew slave. He thought no one saw. But the next day, when he tried to stop the Hebrews from fighting, one of them exposed him. "Are you going to kill me like you killed the Egyptian?" Moses realized his crime was known. Pharaoh heard about it and tried to kill him. So Moses ran. He fled Egypt and ended up in Midian. He married Zipporah, Jethro's daughter, and settled into the quiet life of a shepherd. The man who could have been somebody became a nobody. The prince became a shepherd. The privileged became an exile. 40 years pass. 40 years of watching sheep. 40 years of desert solitude. Moses is no longer the hot-tempered young man who thought he could deliver Israel by his own strength. He's been humbled, broken, and shaped by the wilderness. One day, he leads his flock to the far side of the wilderness and comes to Horeb, the mountain of God. There, he sees something impossible. A bush is on fire, flames engulfing it, but the bush doesn't burn up. Fire consumes, but this bush remains intact. This defies nature. Moses thinks, "I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up." As he approaches, a voice calls out from the fire, "Moses, Moses." He stops. "Here I am," he responds. Then God gives a strange command. "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." The presence of God makes this ordinary patch of desert sacred. Moses removes his sandals. Then God identifies himself. "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." This is the covenant God, the God of Moses' ancestors. Moses hides his face. He's afraid to look at God. Then God speaks words that will change Moses' life forever. "I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out. I am concerned about their suffering." God sees, God hears, God cares. The Israelites have been enslaved for 400 years, and God has heard every prayer. "So I have come down to rescue them," God says, "and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey." Then comes the part that terrifies Moses. "So now, go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people the Israelites out of Egypt." Wait, what? God is sending Moses, the fugitive, the man who's been hiding for more than 40 years. Moses asks, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" He used to think he was somebody, but now he knows his limitations. "Who am I? I'm nobody." But God's answer redirects his focus. "I will be with you." That's the only qualification that matters. God's presence, God's power, God's promise. But Moses isn't convinced. "Suppose they ask me, 'What is his name?' What shall I tell them?" God answers with the most profound revelation. "I am who I am. This is what you are to say. I am has sent me to you." God is the eternally existent one. He simply is. God gives Moses detailed instructions and warns him that Pharaoh won't cooperate easily. But Moses still hesitates. What if they do not believe me? God gives him 3 signs. His staff becomes a snake, his hand becomes leprous, and then is restored, and water from the Nile will turn to blood. God gives him everything he needs. But Moses makes one more objection. "Pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent. I am slow of speech and tongue." Now the real issue comes out. He feels inadequate. God's response is direct. "Who gave human beings their mouths? Now go. I will help you speak and will teach you what to say." But Moses makes one last, desperate plea. "Pardon your servant, Lord. Please send someone else." Now God becomes angry. He has provided everything, and Moses keeps refusing. Finally, God concedes that his brother, Aaron, who speaks well, will help him. Moses finally accepts the call. He returns to Egypt after 40 years. The man who fled as a failure returns as God's deliverer, not because of his own strength, but because of God's presence. God specializes in using unlikely people. How has God called you despite your feelings of inadequacy? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more biblical stories of ordinary people empowered by an extraordinary God.